Huh? Where'd this letter in our bag come from? Could it just blow in on the breeze?
A blade embraces its... As a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Time to go. Tch.
There'll be an extra. Exactly. I'll think about it.
Oh, it's from the tone-deaf bard. Apparently, he wants to hear all about our adventures in Nodcry. Maybe we can get some tasty treats out of him in return. Come on, let's go to Star Snatch Cliff.
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Welcome back, old friend. And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight of Mondstadt? The Tumaini of Natlan? Or the great hero of Nodcry?
Well, you sure have your finger on the pulse. We've barely caught our breath since Nodcry, but it sounds like you've already heard about what went down.
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, I need to hear them from the horse's mouth. My wine and my lyre are at the ready. So please, traveler, take a seat and tell me your tale. Amazing! Incredible! The Rahier of Solnari and the Doctor? Truly a tale for the ages! So I'm guessing the wild hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rahier of Solnari?
Seems that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the Doctor, though.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved, Varka must be getting ready for the triumphant return of his expedition. I haven't seen him in the longest time. He must have so many stories to share.
Hooray! Paimon was wondering about that, too. He did call you Barbados. But weren't you still fast asleep back when he was in Mondstadt?
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Temple one. It was a young knight who had journeyed there in search of trials and oracles after hearing some tall tales at the local tavern. In fact, all that awaited him were moss-covered walls and an angry ruin guard. But he seemed completely unfazed, laughing heartily as he sent the ruin guard's missiles flying off into the horizons.
Ha! They must have been making quite a racket if it was enough to wake up the tone-deaf bard.
Yeah, it sounded kinda like...
Hey! Is that all you've got?
Oh, bring it on!
Like that.
Giving up already? You're not half as tough as Varka said.
A young knight of Favonius trekking out to the Thousand Winds Temple in search of adventure. Now there's a sight I haven't seen in a while.
A bard in green clothes. I was just wondering how I was gonna track you down.
Oh, so you were looking for the tone-deaf bard? Strange place to start your search.
Hold on. Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the honorary knight, and allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lowen, vice captain of the 5th Company of the Knights of Favonius, and a member of the Expeditionary Force. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right. So that's why Paimon's never seen you around in Mondstadt. Hey, wait a second.
That's probably because when the Wild Hunt was still running rampant, I spent most of my time out on my own, making mincemeat out of monsters. I barely went back to base. Then, once the Wild Hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt. Mixed blessing, if you ask me. Sounds like...
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So, why did Varka send you back?
Deliver some letters. There's one for the Knights of Favonius, one for the church, another for the Dawn Winery, at least 10 of them in total.
Jeez, how many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inefa, Lowen. He should just hire a full-time mailman already. In fact, he's earned himself a new nickname. Let's go with... Sir Writes-A-Lot!
I'll have you know that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts. So, tone deaf or not, I wear the title of Bard with pride. And
Wait, really? Darn it! Maybe Paimon should come up with some harder-hitting nicknames for these two.
Anyway, since this young man has come all the way to the Thousand Winds Temple looking for me, I assume he must have a letter for me too. Am I right?
You sure are. To use the Grand Master's own words.
This one is for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by Venti. Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start by asking around in Mondstadt, or maybe try your luck at the Thousand Winds Temple.
I figured that since there was this punching bag here, Ruin Guard, I could get some practice in while I was at it. So, I came right here the second I got back to Mondstadt.
That Varka is so slapdash sometimes. It's a good thing we happen to be near...
Oh, he also said to remind you to write back.
Nothing in particular. Just some idle chatter between two drinking buddies. But if I'm supposed to write back this time... Varka gave you a whole bunch of letters to deliver, right? Maybe you can head into Mondstadt and...
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can find the way. Hopefully the roads haven't changed too much since the pre-expedition days.
Well, why don't we have Mondstadt's honorary knight escort this homeward-bound wanderer to the city? I'm sure some of the recipients of Varka's letters will turn out to be old friends.
Let's go! It's been a while since Paimon's done any guide work.
Thank you so much, honorary knight. And...
The Abyss. The Wild Hunt. Andreas, get home safe, Varka.
Why do my ears feel so hot? Surely there's no way anyone found the secret stash of cash in my office. That would be terrible.
Grandmaster, bad time to get distracted.
Watch out! Enemies approaching!
Huh? Oh, it's just a few stragglers. This expedition is almost over. We just need to deal with these final few targets, and then we will make our triumphant return! Stormwind! Stormwind!
Without the rapier of Sonari to direct them, it seems like all that's left is their primal urge to destroy.
If this is all that the Wild Hunt can muster now, surely the Lightkeepers of Nodcry will be able to deal with what's left.
Just like I thought. What we should be wary of now...
Grandmaster, based on Lightkeeper intel and our own reconnaissance, one of the suspected targets should be just up ahead.
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and stand guard. Leave the rest to me.
Yes, Grandmaster!
We meet again, Andreas.
So, you've returned from Mondstadt. Don't you want to see what it looks like now? I was planning to take a look around there myself. Perhaps you could be my guide.
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago? Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. There are 2 other places to check. Maybe this will all go smoothly after all. It's your turn, my friend. Come, Andreas!
Although, for returning to your old home, perhaps Andreas is a little too ostentatious. Might be better to...
Boreas.
Huh?
Injustice. Corruption. Iniquity. Is the surface world still as wretched and foul as ever? Answer me. Heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight. That's where things stand with the expedition. The victors will be returning home soon, so P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. I'll be testing P.P.S. I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't forget to write back.
Everyone gets one? Wow! Sure writes a lot is really living up to—
I guess the Grand Master must have something specific to say to each of us. Even I got a letter, and I'm not a real knight yet.
Jean?
Oh, yes. That's our Grandmaster for you.
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain? I have a letter for him as well.
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the Angel Share. Allegedly for work. Said he was exchanging intel. But I'd say there's a 50-50 chance he's just there for a drink.
Paimon bets there'll be lots of familiar faces there. How about we deliver Kaya's letter? And these are there too as well!
Really? Oh, that would be a great help, thank you.
Our thanks to you too, Lowen. The other knights will help distribute the remaining letters. You've had a long journey.
Great, but I won't be resting just yet. I have one last letter to deliver to Wolvendom. This one, I heard that another challenger recently passed Boreas' trial. Well, with any luck, that wolf might be willing to reveal himself to me, too.
Very well, but please remember to show respect to the local wolves.
I will. Goodbye.
Ah, the Grand Master. The archives are filled with documents awaiting his review. I'm not letting him run off again, and on another note, have you spoken to Jean?
Grandmaster offered lots of advice in his letter regarding my recent assessments. I didn't think he'd spare a thought for that kind of thing in the middle of— So, Honorary Knight? If you have—
He wants to test me to see if my skills have regressed? I'm assuming you must have seen him going all out before.
Okay, we'll deliver these letters to the Adventurers Guild and the Cat's Tail. You can just handle—
The expedition is finally wrapping up. Oh, I hope the maps I made on our way there are good enough to get them safely home.
Please be quiet within the premises and refrain from making
The Grand Master wrote in his letter that the Boom Blossom bombs we sent worked really well. He wants to know if we've made any more.
Uncle Mark is coming home?
Honorary Knight, you're still here?
Huh? But Burke is coming back.
True. From what you and Lowen have told me, it seems that Mondstadt no longer faces— And yet, for some reason—
If I don't make it back from this expedition, you'll have to assume the mantle of Grand Master of the Knights of— If it comes to that, remember to train the next Knight of Boreas in my stead. I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but they still need time to grow. Some have yet to master the art of social interaction. Some don't yet understand that they too need protecting. And some, well, some might not even want to be a knight. What's wrong? Well, there's no need to frown. I'm going on an expedition, not marching to my death. This is all just a contingency plan in the event. Until I return, I leave them in your care.
The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in Mondstadt's history. The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago, along with his wolf companion. He was as free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost to history. The title of Boreas could have disappeared from Mondstadt justice, but he had an informal disciple, a knight named Ravenwood, who admired the Knight of Boreas greatly. Ravenwood's valor and swordsmanship— When the old aristocracy tried to regain power, Ravenwood came once more to Mondstadt's defense. From then on, the title of Knight of Boreas was passed down from generation to generation.
Wolf spirit? You mean that big blue wolf?
Correct. As you may already know, the Wolf of the North is the surviving spirit of an ancient god, and the Knight of Boreas serves as an intermediary between— Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love, came to understand it through the journey with his human companion. In the end, this was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that the starting point of the Wolf King's journey was not Mondstadt, but Nodcraft.
Huh?
The great Wolf King of the North came here from Nodcry, although he doesn't like to speak of his past. In fact, he As such, This tale can only be found deep within the Knights of Favonius library. Even among them, the Grand Master didn't disclose any concrete objectives before departing on his expedition. I couldn't help but wonder whether it might somehow be related to Nodcry's Wolf of the North. I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread unwarranted suspicion toward the Four Winds among the people of Mondstadt. You experienced the turmoil caused by Dvalin the East Wind's actions for yourself. Surely you can understand my concern?
No wonder Varga wasn't clear about his motives.
Very possibly. He was probably also reserving judgment. Having heard about your experiences in Nodcry, I now suspect that the Grand Master hadn't yet ascertained the true identity of our enemy at that time. And as it turns out, the calamity born in the north wasn't an ancient god, but rather the Wild Hunt and the Doctor. I guess we were both jumping to conclusions. Yes, I completely agree. The tide can turn rapidly in times of battle. It's a leader's responsibility to prepare for even if his contingency plan never needs to be put into.
Into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver those letters to the Angel Share now.
Time to go. When you're mixing drinks in hot weather, start by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes. Then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients. How's that for a secret recipe? Maybe it's worth a little intel in return.
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least. You'll have to offer something a little more substantial if you're serious about—
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly? Especially if you're supposed to be exchanging confidential information.
Hiya! Rosaria! D-Luke! Paimon knew we'd find you here.
Looks like it's about to get even noisier.
A little liveliness never killed anyone. Traveler, Paimon, what brings you our way?
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident with Eric. We make absolutely no excuse for his crimes. I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now. The Knights of...
From the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still refusing to drop it?
He nags like an old man. It's hardly
Huh? Drop what? What's this about?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me over a drink. He, asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius, and I declined. He expressed his regret about everything that happened, and asked me to reconsider.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of details.
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past. Dragging them back up now.
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Favonius were constantly at odds.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time to reflect, but my answer remains unchanged. I'm not rejoining the Knights. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright. I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on the outside to keep watch vigilantly.
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument. I actually don't disagree with the first part of what you said. But don't you think someone can keep tabs on things from the inside?
When you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the surface.
You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the Church?
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the Church and not the Knights to begin with?
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, kind of like the contingencies Jean was talking about. The more ways they have to protect their home, the better. Huh? Traveler?
What should I report back to the Grand Master? Public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh, and a review.
My reply won't be a long one. As usual. I'm sure Varka...
If you hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey. Mostly so we could come say hello.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old rascal's scheme far too readily.
Huh? Scheme? What do you mean?
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine, as was his offer to welcome. There are people like Kaya and I, and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the most susceptible to being driven to extremes by great upheaval. It's happened in not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. Yeah. So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas had nearly been extinguished twice in history. The first was at its inception. The second was the case I was alluding to.
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this? Wait, and then we got caught up talking about the expedition, and we never got around to the second time.
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. The second crisis in the Knights of Boreas lineage. It was 500 years ago. Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognized by Lupus Boreas over the past millennium. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the wolf pup Rostam, and Varka himself. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest Knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
Yikes! Bloodstained...
Well, apparently his original title was the White, but he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black. transforming the White Knight into the Blood. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, it's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far. But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back. So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes, is to let him know, after all these years, he's still as persistent as ever. Just like how he used to be with me.
Huh. Turns out Varka's a lot more thoughtful than he lets on. Paimon had the wrong idea about him. Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. Wasn't Andreas a god in Mondstadt thousands of years in the past? If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? Plus, Paimon's super curious about what happened to Roland. That's a great idea! Jean?
My friend. Why? Adventure?
Even if you are a close friend.
What's going on here? Was Wolfendom always like this? Paimon, the Wild Hunt! What are they doing here? Watch out!
Cleanup sequences. Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call. Wind striking.
Motion to compel! Wrap up the flame! Flame! The room! Oh, are you alright? Oh no! What now? It better not be more Wild Hunt! Phew! You scared Paimon stiff!
Stop right there! Answer me this. The 2 letters I gave you, who are they for?
2 letters? Wasn't it 3?
Okay. Well, Paimon's coolest naive expression doesn't appear to be an act.
Hey! What are you trying to say? Paimon passed a test? Really?
You may dispense with your suspicions. The Wolfpack has borne witness. They fought against the aberrations that encroached upon this land. And our attackers showed no ability to disguise themselves. A familiar scent.
Well, if the boss of Wolfendom has vouched for you, I guess I should apologize for doubting you just now. Sure was. Fortunately, my experience in Nodcry didn't go to waste. Turns out the Wild Hunt all feel the same when you stab them. They didn't stand it. Something seems wrong with that old wolf, though. Go on. You should... Time to go.
Lupus Boreas, not injured. Why so weak?
You are not to blame. With your Iron Claw, they followed my trail from the distant north across the ley lines. They sought to corrupt the territory I protect. But I shall not let them succeed. We meet again, human Lupical.
So, are you saying that that the wild hunt we just got attacked by came all the way from Nodcry to Mondstadt?
As you know, I stand before you as an incomplete being. I am but one remnant of the god Andrius, the source of this turmoil. I can sense it. It lies in the...
Huh? Now Paimon's even more confused. How can you be in two places at once?
For many gods, housing a part of their soul within an object is no difficult feat. But those who can perform such delicate partitions as this are rare, even among the gods. The Wolf King, Andrius, was particularly adept in this art. Otherwise, no remnants of his soul would have survived till the present day.
Huh? The bard's back?
Toad Bard?
Maybe the god of Animo guided me here. For it appears that someone is in need of a tale from the distant past. And our wolf friend doesn't seem too keen on... Who better than a bard to do the honors? Lord Boreas, do I have your blessing to share this story?
As you wish.
Lupus Boreas wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into the Seelie Hall. Enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn starlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home and set off for the city to the south. As the high tower crumbled and the fierce winds fell silent, Lupus Boreas, who once had hunted with the storm winds himself, looked within and inquired, was the shelter he provided for humanity really any different from that given by the reclusive king in his tower? The wolf entrusted those under his protection to a new god and quietly returned to the frozen north. There, in a palace long since abandoned by its former master, the great wolf closed his eyes and slept. 500 bitter winters passed, then 500 equally frigid springs. He slumbered undisturbed until a night stumbled in from the cold, just as Lupus Boreas had once done at the Seelie Hall, and awoke him at long last. The night asked the wolf to join him on a journey south, to see once more the land that had all but faded from his memory. The gentle wolf, unwilling to refuse the human's earnest plea, split his soul into two halves and left his home once more. Seeing how the ice and snow had given way to verdant plains, hearing the laughter and song that now filled the once somber city, the aging Lupus Boreas turned to his friend, the god of Animo, and remarked, "So, this is the world the humans dreamed of." Though the night's journey was not yet over, the wolf chose to bid farewell to his companion here. He had written the end to his story. What knowledge he had been gifted flowed into the land. Everything he was, he gave unto the world. Well, that's how a bard would tell the tale. Lord Boreas, is there anything you'd like to add?
There is no need for you to ask.
So that's what happened. You returned to Mondstadt with that night 1,000 years ago, and then, for the sake of the new Mondstadt...
You need not feel remorse on my account. If anyone should feel regret, it is the part of me who remained in Nodcry. I fear Andrius has not found peace in his heart even to this day. That is surely why those vile aberrations were able to exploit his weakness, sowing the seeds of all the turbulence that has ensued.
But we followed Boreas' trail in Nodcry. We investigated and discovered no signs of instability.
Andrius should still be slumbering by the lakeside. Perhaps perhaps all the reason. And there's more. I detect another familiar scent from across the ley lines. A scent that reeks of blood.
Oh, the White Knight who became the Bloodstained Knight? The mightiest knight of Boreas? But wasn't he from 500 years ago?
I remember him as just a man. His lifespan should be no longer than any other of his kind. But before he severed his connection to Boreas, it was the ancient kingdom of Conria, as you call it. Beyond that, I know not if he lived or died.
If you want to get to the bottom of this, I'm afraid you'll have to make another trip to Nodcry yourselves. As luck would have it, another old friend of ours just so happens to be free right now. If you ask him nicely, he might give you a lift. That could save you a lot of time on the road.
No wonder I can suddenly sense the east wind's presence.
If even Mondstadt has been affected by the fallout, Nodcry must be in real trouble by now. I hope Varka can handle it.
Varka? Is he in danger?
I believe too many passengers would slow our dear friend down. I fear he only has room to carry one person, along with perhaps a diminutive companion.
Alright, wish it could be me, but I accept that we should send our strongest warrior to fight Nodcry. I'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that try harassing Mondstadt. It'll be a good chance to try out some new moves.
I stay in Mondstadt too.
Razor, give me your iron. Golden-haired traveler, give this token to the current knight of Boreas. It is a wolf spirit. It contains my power and thoughts. Though I have given him a piece before.
The Dominator of Wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack, strengthening their hearts and sharpening their claws and fangs.
But human hearts and flesh cannot bear the soul of a wolf directly. It would be akin to forcefully merging a human and a wolf into one being. They would descend into chaos to prevent the entanglement of souls. The most I can do is temporarily house my power and thoughts within claws and fangs wrought of steel. Although, truth be told, that knight does not lack for power. What he needs more is the thoughts within. But I shall leave this for him to explain. The Great Wolf King of the North remains strong for now. Besides,
I will protect Lupacol.
Just give me the word whenever you're ready. Questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nodcry. 500 years ago, Roland seemed destined to become the mighty. He believed firmly in his own ideals of chivalry, vowing to eliminate all injustice from the world. But the world had never been perfect and pure, nor would it ever be. Neither his mentor, the wolf pup Rostam, nor the Grand Master, known as the Lion of Light, could persuade him to temper his obsession. But what was the scent that reeks of blood that Lupus Boreas sensed? And what is its connection to Conria and the Abyss? Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the root of this turmoil lies with the remnant soul that Andreas, Dominator of Wolves and God of the North Wind, left in Nodcry. He once left Nodcry and braved the blizzards to confront the god of storms and claim the right to rule. Yet even as the tower fell, he chose to abandon his claim. Instead, he returned to the north and slumbered for 1,000 years, before finally journeying when the wolf spirit could no longer maintain his physical form. Boreas chose to pour his power into... Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nodcry. All right, over to you, Dvalin!
The Knight of Boreas awaits below. We must part ways here. Barbatos and I have other plans. We will meet you again later.
All right. Hey, wait. How are we getting down?
Hold the line! The enemy's on the brink of collapse!
Grandmaster! It's...
Haha! Reinforcements! It's about time!
And Paimon too!
We're just about hanging in there. Most of their grunts are taken care of now. Their leader's gonna have to make a decision soon. Fight or flight? What will it be, mightiest knight of Boreas?
As expected, this hastily summoned Wild Hunt horde is nothing but a disorganized rabble. A mere shadow of the forces gathered by the Rahir of Solmari. But they have served their purpose. I now understand your tactics, and you, in turn, understand mine. Farewell, heir to the knighthood of Boreas. Whether you choose to resist me or not, I shall set right the injustices of this world. In the name of the blood-stained knight.
Guess they're retreating for...
So that Wolf of the North look-alike, that was Andreas? But why would he be leading the Wild Hunt? And what? Forget that. We can save the details for later. He was the enemy boss, right?
There's no point chasing after him. We've crossed blades already, and it ended in a stalemate. Right now, there's nothing we can do about him. True. We're still not certain of his true identity, but whether he's a god corrupted by the Abyss or a legendary knight, killing him might be just about possible, especially now that you're here. The difficult part is, we can't kill him right now.
Huh? What do you mean?
No. Judging from our skirmishes so far, I don't think he's got any special abilities of that caliber. Nor does he have the ridiculous level of power wielded by the Five Sinners. But, compared to Rerir, our current foe clearly has a better understanding of how to exploit Nodcry to his advantage. Particularly when it comes to Andreas' remnant soul. Exactly. Sounds like you realize what the crux of the issue is. I managed to cut off a sample from our foe, which Albedo and Durin are analyzing as we speak. Meanwhile, our other allies should be making their way home from their own battles by now. Let's discuss this further when they're back. We still have some big challenges ahead before this expedition can finally be declared a victory.
The meeting's probably gonna be in the biggest tent, right? Looks like a bunch of people are there already. Why don't we go chat with them?
Hey, good to see you again. Oh, she went to see Lauma and Columbina at the Frostmoon Scions. Apparently, there haven't been any changes to that space the Rahir of Solnari's in.
That means the recent wild hunt attacks have nothing to do with Riri, right? Whew.
They're keeping a close watch on it just in case. With so many moon experts on the case, we're in pretty safe hands, huh? Oh yeah, Lauma and Columbina asked me to pass on a message too. Focus on the enemy you are facing. Huh, you know something? These Knights of Favonius are paying me a pretty nice sum to deliver a few simple messages.
Short distance propulsion module on cooldown. Switching to chat mode. Hello there. Varka placed a sizable order with the Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop. I know is hard at work producing the strategic reserve, while I am handling the deliveries. Secondly, I am also here to attend the
Time to go.
Huh? Flint's! Paimon thought the Lightkeeper's rep would be Iqua or Nikita.
You're quite right. However, Itlua and Nikita are both busy organizing the Ratniki's region-wide response to the recent attacks. And since I'm well acquainted with everyone else here, I was the one they recommended to attend the meeting. Sometimes you don't get a choice.
Hey, Honorary Knight. Looks like pretty much everyone's here. Beto and Durin are just wrapping up their analysis. You want to wait for them here? Great. While we're waiting, could you update me on the situation in Mondstadt? And that's where things stand. The Wild Hunt is no longer under the Reikir of Solnari's control, but it has been reborn from the ashes and is now launching widespread attacks. Intel from the Frostmoon Scions and the Curatorium of Secrets corroborates this. No disturbances have been detected in the space where Riri resides. What we are facing here is a
Summarizing current situation. To confirm, the present leader of the Wild Hunt is the creature resembling a wolf. Andrius, god of the North Wind.
More precisely, it's the external will that has seized control of Andrius' spirit. Namely Roland, the Bloodstained.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. I'm completely lost. Isn't Roland some Mondstadter from like 500 years ago? How'd he suddenly get wrapped up with a god from 1,000 years in the past? And
allow us to explain that part. Are you familiar with compensation mechanisms? When an organism sustains damage, relevant tissues will undergo changes to offset the loss of function. For example, when one kidney is damaged, the other will be strengthened to compensate. Or, when a main artery is blocked, the collateral vessels become more active. Similarly, when the Wild Hunt lost their leader, the Abyss harnessed the memories that flow throughout the ley lines to fashion a new one, fit for the present circumstances. That new leader is a mirror image of Roland, the Bloodstained Knight.
Right. No matter how strong the compensation is, it will never quite match the functionality of the original organ. The Roland replica can't possibly imitate Barir's overwhelming power, nor his ability to... So, the Abyss made use of the connection between Roland and Boreas to compensate for this lack of power.
The replica corrupted, and took control of Andrius as he slumbered by the bank of Amsvartnir, ultimately manifesting as the giant beast that you all witnessed. However, exactly why the Abyss chose Roland to mimic, and indeed how it was able to do so...
I guess he must have gotten caught up with the Abyss or Nodcry somehow during his wanderings through Tevat. But we can keep those questions on the back burner.
Okay, Paimon gets all that, but what did you mean when you said we can't kill him?
You can't kill him right now because a dead god may prove more dangerous than a living one. From intelligence gathered during the expedition, we have reason to believe that the power released when a god is felled can have catastrophic consequences for us mortals. Worse still, the wrath that remains after a god's passing becomes a source of endless turmoil. Once god remains contaminate the land, they will persist for thousands of years. This land has already been ravaged by the Wild Hunt. If we add god remains to the mix, it'd be like adding salt to an open wound, placing everyone who lives here in perilous danger.
Query. While I can indeed find records of disasters caused by god remains in my database, there also appear to be cases of gods dying naturally with no ill effects. In that land, the passing of the Pyro-Archon's flame is a common occurrence throughout history, and even the part of Andreas who remains in Mondstadt has experienced death once before, has he not?
Great question. Glad you asked. Honorary Knight, you said Lupus Boreas gave you a token to pass on to me? Come forth, Boreas!
This form has come to the end of its time. I'm afraid I can accompany you no further on your journey. My soul will fall into silence, and my power will flow into the ley lines of this land. Do not grieve for me, for this is the end I have chosen. Instead, remember that one day, your wandering too must come to an end. A final wish before I
You saw it too. You must have keen powers of perception. Not that it surprises me. That was Boreas' final thoughts before merging with the ley lines. It's the reason Mondstadt remains unharmed by his god remains. In his final moments, he made a choice to give everything he was to the ley lines. All to protect Mondstadt from harm.
Sounds like Andreas spent thousands of years searching for his place in the world, too.
Yes. And now our task is to return the answer he found, the decision he made, to Andreas' heart. Only then can he break free from the corruption and control of the Abyss, and make that decision once more.
I see. I would say that planting thoughts inside the mind of a god sounds a little far-fetched, but since it was his own wish to begin with, it sounds feasible to me.
Wait, we already have a perfect solution? Then why are we—
If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, this one thought alone is unlikely to be powerful enough to break through the Abyss's control and reach Andreas' heart. We need to find a way to make the thought within this sword stronger and more resilient.
For now, Boreas needs all his remaining strength to fight against the abyssal corruption to Mondstadt's ley lines. He can't afford to send us any more. However, since his form was unstable during his journey with the first Knight of Boreas, many wolf spirit fragments were left behind along the way. If we can collect those fragments, we can use them to strengthen the decision to merge with the ley lines.
So we need to retrace his steps and look for random fragments? But they could be anywhere between Nodcry and Mondstadt!
You don't need to worry about that. There's a few fragments left to gather in Nodcry, but apart from that, most of them are already inside this sword. I've been collecting them during the whole expedition.
Huh? Wait, really?
I mean, it's an expedition, not a stroll in the park. Each step of the way, we've been hard at work planning for every possible, not just the Wild Hunt in the Abyss, but ancient gods remaining in Nodcry.
Sounds like this plan was a long time in the making. It's almost as if you foresaw.
As a matter of fact, I did. I caught a glimpse of fate's reflection. But I can't take credit for it. It was all thanks to the help of a few friends. Still, all I foresaw was that an abyssal calamity was brewing in the north. Had I known more, we could have saved a lot of energy. Instead, we've had to make best guesses, prepare for every possible scenario. If all that preparation went to waste, all the better for it. But anything that proved useful, we knew we'd be grateful for down the line. Sure is. Just one crucial step remains. We need to gather the last few wolf spirit fragments scattered around Nodcry, and use them to make the thought within this sword, according to what Boreas told me before we left Mondstadt. His form was at its most unstable at the beginning of his journey. That means the fragments here should be the most powerful ones. But of course, we've been tied up fighting battles since the day we set foot in Nodcry. First with the Wild Hunt, then with the Doctor. So, it wasn't until recently that we were finally able to confirm the status of the wolf spirit fragments.
Okay, so 3 more mini-expeditions to go.
I managed to gather one fragment before Roland reappeared. I also have a confirmed location for the second, which I'll take care of in short order. As for the third fragment, we've identified a general search area to focus on, but we'll need all hands on deck to pinpoint the exact location. The final snag is that since our foe is a replica of Roland, he too will be aware of Andrias' history. He's sure to try and sabotage our plans by any means at his disposal.
With our foe being from Mondstadt, it's our duty as Mondstadters to defeat him.
And since the Wild Hunt is involved, the Lightkeepers will provide their full support.
The Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop will also help in any way we can.
So what do they need me here for? Wait, I think maybe I signed a contract at some point. Didn't exactly scrutinize it though. I mean, who actually reads those things anyway, right?
Ah, great. Knew I could count on you all. Lastly, our friend from the Curatorium of Secrets will provide intel and relay battlefield communications. Looking at you, Yehoda.
So, you'll be darting back and forth across the battlefield, dodging the Wild Hunt and the shadow of an ancient god.
Rating for Yehoda updated. Higher quality ingredients will be used to prepare your future meals.
Darn it! I should have known this payday wouldn't come that easy.
I'll deal with the second wolf spirit fragment, which we already know the location of. The moment you make any progress with Fragment 3, be sure to give me an update. Traveler, could you join me in retrieving Fragment 2? I have a feeling that your unique constitution might come in handy. All right, time is of the essence. Let's move out, people. Dismissed!
Time to go. Time to go.
Didn't you say Fragment 2 was supposed to be right here? Where the heck is it?
Seems like we've run into a slight hindrance. Can I leave this to you, Honorary Knight? Traveler, Paimon, when this is all over, I'm gonna invite you around for a drink of...
Whoa, whoa! Stop
Huh? Well, all right, just trying to lift our spirits a little. You want to see some photos I took of me and the knights before the expedition, maybe?
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Can we please just focus on finding the wolf spirit fragment? We're looking for? What do we do with it?
I once got Boreas to explain to me how he stores his soul inside objects. All I need to do is transfer it to my sword. Just like back at the camp, but this time, you'd best step back a bit, just in case.
So, you're saying you don't know how to love people, and you don't understand human love either.
Why do you laugh?
Sorry, I just think the fact you're ruminating on this is all the proof you need that you have love in your heart. I have a funny feeling that by the time this journey ends, you'll have found your own answer to the question of how to love.
No, you're wrong. There is no redemption at the end of this path. Even if I am stained black with blood, my conscience will remain as white as snow. If pledging allegiance to the Abyss is the only way to sever the injustice of fate, then I shall serve in its name.
Oh, sure enough, this place has been corrupted by Roland's will. Whew. I'm fine. I was prepared for this. It wasn't enough to... We got here just in time. The fragment hasn't been fully corrupted yet. Assuming we can undo the damage, it should still be usable. Purifying the abyssal corruption would definitely be a safe approach. Could you try reversing the corruption? Not purifying it, exactly, but separating out the Roland part from the wolf spirit.
So, keep the Roland part intact as well as the wolf spirit part? Why would you want to do that?
Firstly, to test whether it's possible. And secondly, to view Roland's memories. As they say, know thyself, know thy enemy. Understanding our foe is our surest path to defeating him. Let me think. How was it explained to me? Ah, yes. Focus on a single thought within the 1,000 winds. capture that unique wisp before it blows away. Ha 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 ha! Actually, neither do I.
Sounds like something a certain tone-deaf bard would come up with when he can't think of anything meaningful to say. Wait.
I thought it might mean something to you. But never mind. I'll explain it in more human terms. Traveler, when you were in Natland, you went fishing for ancient names, correct? If I'm not mistaken, the Night Kingdom was like a river flowing with concepts, and you were trying to capture the concept belonging to a particular ancient name. I'm thinking the same basic...
Okay, but back then, we had a bow and a net. This time, we don't have anything at all.
This wolf spirit fragment is like a puddle compared to the Night Kingdom. No need for a boat. As for a net, this is what I've heard.
Thoughts and emotions are like interwoven threads. They can create a net, or they can create a rope. They can separate love from hatred, and they can bind objects and events together. Thought is the anchor for a being's existence, through which emotions are drawn forth.
Also, we barely know anything about Roland. How are we supposed to use thoughts to...
Well, maybe you could try this.
What is it? It looks old.
It's an unsent letter, written by the wolf pup Rostam, Knight of Boreas, from 500 years ago. It was meant for his disciple, the White Knight Roland. After Rostam lost his life in the Abyssal Calamity, Roland left Mondstadt to wander to Vat. Grandmaster Arundelen had wanted to deliver this letter to him. But trying to track Roland down was like chasing a shadow. He never did find him. And so this letter has been sitting at the Knights of Favonius headquarters ever since.
Quite the antique, then. But how?
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure.
Hey, what happened to Mr. Plans for every contingency? You're just making this up as you go along.
Now what can I say? Some people like to wait till they've got all their ducks in a row before taking the first step, but I prefer to dive on in and plan as I go. I've been doing it that way for the whole expedition. But anyway, don't they say that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts? Can't hurt to give it a try, surely. Whoa, it actually worked?
You really are making this up as you go along.
So the assimilation of souls really can be reversed, just like he said.
If what you say is true, the monsters I've slain, the justice I have sought to uphold, for mortals to escape this tragic fate, a great and ancient kingdom was wrongfully cursed, turning its inhabitants into monsters! The code of chivalry tolerates not such injustice. If Abyss be thy name, I pledged.
And that is where the blood-stained knight's tale came to an end. With that, he bade his humanity farewell. I dare say you must find it quite ironic, Knight of Boreas.
That I... Dainsleif? No. Bore a striking resemblance. While we gazed into the past, he was gazing right back at us. Could it be? So that's what happened. After leaving Mondstadt and wandering the land, Roland ventured underground and saw a revelation from the visionary. Once he had learned of Conria's fate, he saw the gods' judgment as the greatest injustice, giving them his knowledge. his power, his everything.
Uh-oh. Does this mean we have to take on the Visionary this time?
I'm inclined to agree. If our enemy could see the future, both the Wild Hunt and Roland would be acting with far more lethal precision. But even without the Visionary's input, Roland still has an intel advantage we can't afford to underestimate. Every minion of the Wild Hunt serves as Roland's eyes and ears. We need to think one step ahead if we want to outmaneuver him. And on that note, I have a plan I want to discuss with you. Well, the fewer people who know, the less likely it is to get leaked. Besides... that about covers it. Sorry to ask so much of you again. No plan is free of risks. At least this one actually gives us a shot at fully eliminating the danger posed by this ancient god. Surely that's gotta make the risk worth it. If I fail, Anselm and Albedo can take the reins. Not to mention we still have Jean and Mondstadt.
Oh, there has to be another way! Like a...
If only there were. But I don't think our enemy will give us enough time to find one.
Hey! Are you guys done here yet?
Ah, Yehoda! Yes, we've successfully retrieved...
Nope! It's a total disaster! More Wild Hunt monsters than I've seen in my whole life!
Come on, we're out of time. You'll just have to trust me on this one. What can I say? I'm not the Grand Master for nothing. I'm counting on you, Honorary Knight.
Time to go. Time to go.
Can't you just, you know, sneak up behind those monsters with me and BAM! Take them all down? I can act 3 times in a round, and there are only 4 monsters in total. I'll take 3 down. You just gotta handle the last one.
I can draw the monster's attention from the front, but sneak attacks...
Well, there isn't much we can do. Itlua's a Lock Knight who chose the Goblet of Justice.
Indeed. If Itlua were to strike from behind, he would be forced to become an Oathbreaker Knight. A significant penalty would apply to all actions going forward.
Oof, that's not good. If we don't defeat all these monsters in one go, those explosives are going to blow us sky high.
There's another way. I can use Raging Torrent to dash straight into the thick of it, then detonate the explosives.
No, no, that won't do at all! Your character would get wiped out that way. We finally managed to gather the party and have such a lovely time together. It would be such a shame if you were the only one who got wiped out.
But if we don't do this, the character that you've been playing for so long might get wiped out too, Miss Navia. Wouldn't that be worse?
I only just started playing. Please don't.
Wait! Navia, put that crumb kake away.
Uh-oh, that move was blocked too.
These pieces on the table, and the stuff you were saying just now.
A savior has arrived! Right? Clorand, this doesn't count as violating the...
If he's willing to join us. Oh, by the way, we're currently playing on easy mode to accommodate the newcomers.
Traveler, would you like to continue the adventure with us? You definitely would, right?
Oh, come on! Any more questions and those explosives are gonna send us flying!
Good. Since you haven't played a script for a while now, you may have one chance to reselect your... The skills you can modify are cooking and medicine. What do you think? Would you like to make any changes? Very well. In that case, you want to learn the cooking skill, yes? The skills you can modify are cooking and very well. In that... Very well then. Let the game... Just when everyone was at their wits' end.
Long time no see, everyone. Looks like you need my help.
By the way, what are you doing here? Could it be that you heard our...
That kind of makes him sound like a summoned spirit. Well...
Indeed. You have...
Guess that means I was randomly dragged into this game.
As expected of the veteran player Miss Navia mentioned before, they got into character instantly.
Though the Marachose hunters had much they wished to share with one another, at this moment, the joy of reunion must yield to the crisis at hand. Now then, the combat round continues. You have the first turn. Also, since we have a new member joining us, I'll be adding some dark cards to boost the enemy's various abilities.
The Traveler isn't a sudden addition. He's been traveling with us all along. We've just, parted for...
I've already counted the dark cards. You should start discussing your tactics.
You're so strict, Clorand. Anyway, let's stick to the original strategy. Now that we have the Traveler with us, Itlua and I will hold the line out front against the monsters of Yehoda. Traveler, you circle around the back and take...
All right, leave it to me. We masters of chi. But why are you a doctor? How's a doctor gonna...
Your medicine box does indeed contain items with high toxicity and anesthetic property.
So that's how it is. Oh, these tabletop troop games really are complicated.
Coming up with a strategy already, huh? Nice work, Traveler. But let me say one more thing. Itlua.
I understand. A Lock Knight's duty is to protect their companions and be their shield.
Oh, don't worry about it. I can act 3 times in a round, so I'll definitely keep up with you.
All right, Itlua. We'll be counting on you.
Then I shall use the skill attached to the Lock Knight's shield.
The Lock Knight raised their shield, chanting the Knight's creed out loud. Meanwhile, the 2 companions lying in wait behind the foe seized this opportunity, preparing to launch their attack.
You take the first swing, I'll hit her.
The Marachose hunter reached into their medicine box and skillfully concocted. He stealthily rolled the potion towards the enemy's feet. In an instant, the
Nice! Okay, next I'll... Right! Ah! That hurts! Who bit my leg? Huh? Ashru? Is it this late already? Oh no! I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. Ashru! Wait for me!
Well, it seems we'll have to end our game here. Navia, put the monster sign back where it was. I saw that. Well, if we get the chance, we can sit down and...
Actually, didn't Itlua say he wanted to invite a colleague to play? Since this game's paused anyway, why don't we take this chance to go find him? The more people...
Mr. Flint's? He, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, that's perfect! Come on, let's go buy him some gifts first, and then pay him a visit in person.
Traveler, we'll let you know once we're...
When the time comes, you have to continue the adventure with... That's my trusty companion for you. Add Astra. Thank you for Add Astra.
Any updates on the commission from last time? Should be done just about now.
Apologies, Mr. Varka. The wine merchants from Mondstadt say they'll need more time to... Also, they have asked me to pass this message on to you. Have you seriously finished the last batch? That cart was huge.
Well, it's not like I'm the only one drinking. That amount of wine is barely enough for 2 banquets. We'll need more. Come on. I timed this down to the second. The Dawn Winery should be reopening the cellar of Dandelion wine right around now. As the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius in Mondstadt, patronizing their business is but one of my duties. Don't worry, I've left some for them. I didn't clean it all out, or Charles would have nothing to work with. The trouble with long journeys, though, is that wine tends to lose its flavor in the process. Next time I get back, I'll have Charles mix me the strongest drink he's got. Now, who to drink with? Kaya would definitely come if I called. And D-Luke? Well, if I can catch him, I'll have a couple of drinks with him too. Well, might as well get those two to have a drink together, perhaps.
So, the wires go here, then there, then here, and then... Ta-da!
Why on earth am I here at this class? Where's Flint's? We agreed to come together. Right. I understand. I've gotten
Writing it down won't do any good. Last time you said you had it memorized, but today you showed up and forgot everything again. Enough. Confiscate his notebook. You're writing it down from memory now.
What? Wait, let me take one more look.
You have taken multiple looks, but every look is directed somewhere different. I presume that you are attempting to find methods to evade the lesson. Such efforts are futile. All such methods have been rendered ineffective.
But I haven't even said anything.
Your eyes indicate your intent clearly, Mr. E. For instance, you placed a partially finished crumb-cake in our workshop stove ahead of time. I hypothesized that your plan was to secretly take it out during the practical class to draw Aino's attention. However, I have already removed that crumkake. It can be reheated for consumption after class.
How on earth did you find out?
Mr. Flynn's has already executed this method once.
What? Flynn's told me he hid his crumkake in the cabinet. How come he hid it in the stove, too?
Also, you were carrying a bag of crushed small fish, Mr. Eat Lua. I believe that was an attempt to lure stray cats along the roadside as you walked. You would put the bag under your feet, the kittens would gather around you. Afterwards, you would pick one up and exclaim, "Huh! What a cute kitten!" Upon which Aino's attention would be drawn accordingly. Unfortunately, Mr. Flint has also tried this method before.
Impossible. All small animals are afraid of Flint's. They wouldn't dare to get close to him.
While he did not lure the small animals here himself, he taught this method to Aino. Subsequently, Aino utilized this method to play with the small animals for an entire afternoon. The lesson for that day had to be cancelled. This time, however, I have already fed all the small animals present in the area. Therefore, this method will also be ineffective.
What do you mean you fed all the animals around here? Even the deer?
Affirmative. In order to preserve the learning environment, I have already fed all the small animals located within the vicinity. As such, please start writing down the circuit diagram we just covered.
Mr. Itlua. I apologize for intruding upon your study. Greetings to you all, Miss Aino, Miss Anefa, Mr. Traveler, Paimon.
He's here! The truant is here!
It is with great regret that I find myself unable to attend your enlightening lectures. However, a matter of absolute urgency necessitates both my own departure.
The same non-negotiable reason has again been invoked. A matter of absolute urgency by order.
Such is life, full of non-negotiable frustrations. Indeed, that is why we term them so. For they have a frustrating habit of arriving at the most inopportune of moments, catching us quite off guard. Now, young master, let us be on our way.
Mr. Flint's, none of those tricks you mentioned earlier worked.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I'll make sure to share some new ones with you. Just a pity that after what just happened, another one of my best ones is now off the table for the foreseeable future.
Well, guess we're done. Can I eat crumkake?
All right, the lecture has concluded, so I'll go heat up the crumkake. Please give me a moment, Aino.
Yay! Crumkake, crumkake, crumkake! This realm is
If you ever...
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth. There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Time to go.
This realm is...
Time to go.
This realm is
Rear! So the rumors about your work are true.
What? No! Listen, something happened at the palace tonight. We have to leave!
You don't need to lie to me anymore.
What do you mean?
I know why you're worried, and I will respect the decision you've made. But it's okay, because I found a solution. I know how to end all this. You can have it back. The normal life you so desire. But
Until then, I'm afraid our wedding will have to wait.
No! Don't do it! Cylinders! Cylinders!
I told you, Rerir. Let her go. You will find someone better.
No! No, I won't do it! I have to save her!
By what means exactly? A lonely pawn. You lack the power and the strength of will.
Do you know a way? Tell me!
Come to the palace. Join us.
Rerir, thank goodness we...
Step forth and take your share.
You made it.
Not you too.
Hatred or grief, despair, desire. We all have our
Rerir. Rerir.
Slintus.
Were you daydreaming? You still remember, Rerir? That question you asked me a couple of weeks ago?
Oh. You mean the proposal?
Yeah. I'm wondering, where do you think would be a good place to discuss it? Maybe in the garden? Or were you thinking a fancy restaurant?
It's your choice. Find you. And then, you can give me your answer.